Okay, welcome guys. We have a fantastic training planned for you all tonight. I am super excited. I have some of our top-notch leaders on here tonight, and we are each going to take an area of our business and give you about 5 or 7 minutes worth of nuggets that you can take away. Some of these, if you're a more seasoned ambassador, some of these you've heard before, but I promise you, you're going to learn some new things because just some of the research I've done and talking to the other leaders, there's new things that I didn't know before either that I'm going to be able to implement as well after 2.5 years. So we're going to jump right in. We wanted to do this to, now that we're getting into school starting, we're all kind of getting back into a routine after a busy summer, but kind of a slow summer in our business. We want to get everybody on the same page to make the most of this fall. So we want to cover all aspects of the business because sometimes we might get stuck focusing on one section, like trying to get customers. We might get stuck on, looking for ambassadors, and we really need a well-balanced business plan and be working all the areas of our business to make the most of it. So I'm so excited you guys are on here tonight. Let's see here. I hope everybody has pen and paper ready because you're going to want to take lots of notes. So quickly grab something if you haven't. The first person that's going to be speaking tonight is Miss Penny Kraut. And Penny is from Tulsa, Oklahoma. And Penny is going to talk to us tonight about the importance of belief. So Penny, I'm turning it over to you.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. Okay, so yes, Elizabeth asked me to speak on the topic of belief, and that can be belief in the products, in Plexus, in network marketing, and belief in yourself. So first of all, belief in the products. You can get that by, I did it myself by researching the products and the ingredients to learn how they worked and why they work for people. Plexus Power Tools is a great resource for product information. It's compliant. It's ran by an independent ambassador, but it is compliant with Plexus. So everything there is good to use and to share with other people. Another way to build your belief in the products is to read all the testimonials you can find. See how the products have helped other people with weight loss, with blood sugar issues, inflammation, gut health. And you can see those testimonials in your Facebook feed. You can go to some of the support groups on Facebook, like the Plexus Ambassador Support Group is a great one. There's lots of good information there, and it's ran by some pretty knowledgeable ambassadors. And also just get to know the other people on our team. Go to team meetings and events and talk to other people about the products they use and why they love them so much. And all of that is going to help you with your belief in the products. The next step is belief in the company. And a big one for me is watching the Diamond documentaries because, no one believes in the company more than the diamonds and the jewels, and they've been with the company long enough to see how supportive the executive team is of us and how they give back to the community, and it's just incredible. In network marketing, when you guys need a recommendation for a new doctor or a new hairstylist or a restaurant, don't you ask your friends who they use, what they think? That's network marketing. And I'm always going to, if I'm looking for, I don't just pick up the phone book or go online and Google, Tulsa doctor. I'm going to talk to my friends and see who they use and why they like them, who they wouldn't recommend, and that kind of thing. So all that is network marketing, whether it's Plexus supplements or anything else. The best movie that's coming out this fall, or what new book have you read? Another avenue for building your belief in network marketing are a lot of the good books out there. A couple of my favorites are GoPro by Eric Worre, and I have notes here. How to Rock Your Network Marketing Business by Sarah Robbins. And there are a ton of other great books. I have a stack on my nightstand that I haven't been able to get all the way through yet, but I'm getting there slowly but surely. Also, I have down here for all of those 3 belief areas. The more you go to the team meetings and events and talk to other Plexus ambassadors, that's going to help you. And also, if there's an event going on that is not being ran by anyone on our team, you can still go. We are all one Plexus, and everyone is super supportive. That our compensation plan is set up so that we're not competing with each other. We do better when everyone does better. But finally, the biggest area of belief that is most important, I think, is belief in yourself, that you can do this, you can be successful. Think about, all these diamonds and emeralds and sapphires who are in Hawaii right now. They all started out as, a wholesale buyer or they weren't even silver at one point. They started out at the bottom, just like everyone else. And we don't have to reinvent the wheel to get where they are. We can duplicate what they've done. So many of them have training videos on YouTube, and they will help any of us. So some of my favorites are, Celeste does some good ones, but I didn't make notes on who my favorite trainers are. So I'm drawing a blank right now.
Tara Castaneda.
Yes.
Tamara
Hall.
Roberts. Melissa Eichenhorst.
Yes, that's who I was trying to think of, was Melissa Eichenhorst. And Tamara Holloway is very upbeat and inspirational. And, all of those are going to help you figure out how to go step by step. Talk to your upline, talk to your sponsor and everyone in your team. Find a sideline that you connect with, and you can lock arms and do events together. And just, this is fun. So it doesn't have to be a job, but we do have to work the business to keep on moving up. So I think that's all I have. Has Natalie joined in yet?
I'm here.
Oh, there she is. Yes.
Sorry, I was a little late.
That's okay.
So I'm going to hand it off to Natalie Nurk now. She's in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, which is just outside of Tulsa.
Okay, and I'm going to go over, excuse me, customer base and about keeping your PV up as much as possible all the time. Even when you're, the main way that you rank up is by adding team members, but you cannot forget about your PV too. That's another big way that you get paid. And a lot of the customers that you get that are good long-term customers end up turning into ambassadors. Those are usually the best ambassadors. So one of the main ways that you need to be doing this is posting publicly all the time and sharing as much as possible, whether it's messaging, at the gym, at your kids' activities, everywhere you go. I think I mentioned on the last call that I got a new customer at my bank. So, and it's because I was wearing my hat. But if you aren't doing this every day, or at the very least 5 times a week, then you're not tapping into, all the free marketing that we're able to use through Facebook, which is awesome. And you're not expanding like you could be. So, and I hear all the time from people, I don't want to annoy people. And of course, I felt that way in the beginning too. But if you have a fear of annoying people, then do you know what that means? That means that your belief is not big enough. If you have a strong and untouchable belief in what you're doing and in yourself and in our products and the company, you're going to be confident in telling anyone and everyone about them, because Plexus is the real deal. There's just so many testimonies out there, and our own testimonies, people that we know personally. There's just too many great things that it's capable of doing. So you've got to get excited about the products, about the company, about what you're doing. And the best way to do that all the time is to be building your belief, like we just went over. And then back to posting and sharing publicly. It's something you've got to get in the habit of if you do want to continue to build. And if you're on this call, there's a good chance that you're wanting to do that. You're wanting to keep growing. The reason we've got to do it so many times and be repetitive is because not everybody sees every one of your posts. You can post, I try to post 3 times a day, but some people may not see every post that I've got on there. Or some people don't get on Facebook every day. They're not like us. But there sure are a lot of people that are on there every day. I mean, if I look at my little activity bar of people that are on there when I get on in the morning, there's a lot of people on there. And honestly, that is something that I check every morning. I see who's on there, and I have started to cold message some of those people, or some of them are people that I talk to fairly often, but and I check back in with them if they've asked me about Plexus before, or I reach out to them for the first time about it and tell them about a great special we're having, or tell them about a product that I think might help them if I've been seeing them post certain things that are plaguing them, which we all know people that do that. That's just an invitation, in my opinion, to offer up some Plexus. So I just did it yesterday, as a matter of fact, and somebody that I know has been struggling with restless leg syndrome, and she was just desperate for help. And I've talked to her about Plexus before, and I commented on there about how our products, I kind of looked up some things on the Plexus Ambassador Support Team first, real quickly, and about restless leg. You can just do a search in there. And I did a screenshot of some things, some comments on there that I found right away. Most people said, oh, Triplex cured mine. Some of them say they use Nerve. But I screenshot it and I put it in the comments on her post. And she ordered from me today. So, yeah, just things like that. You've got to be very aware of what's going on around you, meaning if you're hearing somebody talk about migraines killing them and they're so tired of it, or you're hearing about someone struggling with anxiety, any of these things, just about anybody out there has something that they wish would go away. And the funny thing is, Plexus has a product for just about everything that ails you. So there's just so many great products that help so many different things. So there's no reason to not be mentioning it when the opportunity presents itself. So let's see, let me pick back up where I was. On the posting, I would like to challenge everyone to try posting 3 times a day for 1 month and just see what a difference it makes. And, you've got to be smart about it. You don't want to just share someone else's post, and you don't want to post the same type of things all the time, like join my team over and over and over. You want to post a variety of things about the products, about your own personal success with, how the products are helping you. Things about joining your team are fine. Follow-up is huge. When you're planting all these little seeds everywhere all the time, you need to be sure and follow up with anybody that has contacted you. I know Penny is super duper organized, and she has like, what was it? I think you said you have like an index card thing that you keep track of everybody that you've talked to.
I have a spreadsheet.
The spreadsheet, okay.
I've got tabs for basically my Frank's list for potential customers, and I keep notes on when I contact them. If they've, or somebody that's liked or commented on a post gets added to that list, and as I message them or reach out to them in one way or another, whether it's in person or on the phone, I just make a note of the date and maybe a little bit about what we talked about. And when they become a customer, they move to a customer tab, and I keep notes on just, it's just a quick little note on if I've talked to them about being an ambassador, and just to kind of have, a snapshot on my computer screen of who I've talked to and the dates and what we've talked about. So I'm not, trying to go back through my Facebook Messenger list and see when I talked to so-and-so last, or, it helps me kind of stay on top of that, because I'm so busy in the other aspects of my life that time can slip away from me, and somebody can fall off my radar if I'm not careful.
Yes. Well, and I think of you often when I'm trying to get more organized. I just remember I asked for some people's tips on being more organized with all the follow-up and all the contacts that we get, because we get so many.
Yes.
And I have yet to get really, really organized with it. I mean, I'm kind of fly by the seat of my pants. The main way that I check back on everything is go into my Facebook messages, or sometimes text messages, but Facebook messaging is great because it's all always in there. You can always refer right back to it. So yeah, anyway, you're always my ideal.
Oh, that's scary.
Okay, so on the follow-up, the other thing we got to follow up on all the time too is customers that have ordered from us. We've got to make sure that they're doing well with their products. If you don't follow up with them, some of them you need to follow up with every few days. You'll kind of get an idea how much they want to chat with you about it. But you need to follow up with them, at least once a week, I would say, after they get started on their products, and give them some tips on getting started. Make sure they're drinking their water, trying to get some exercise, making good food choices. If you don't, and I found this to be true, if I don't follow up, if somebody slips through the cracks, sometimes that person ends up quitting taking their products because you didn't check back with them in time to kind of help them get over a hump when maybe they had some little detox symptoms in the beginning, and you just want to make sure that they're not going to give up real easily, because some people will. And even ambassadors, we need to check back on our ambassadors too, because some of them have joined mainly for the wholesale pricing, so they're kind of like wholesale customers. So we've got to check back on them too, and we also have to follow up with the ambassadors that are trying to work the business as well too. But they all need confidence and positive reinforcement. You've got to be prepared to troubleshoot. When they do have an issue pop up, a friend of mine, for example, I just realized I started on the second page of my notes. So I'm going to backtrack in a minute. But a friend of mine started the triplex, and she was really hoping that it was going to help her blood pressure. And I did keep trying to follow up with her, but she wasn't getting back with me and talking to me a lot. And her blood pressure went up slightly at first. And, you know, she checks it like crazy. So it freaked her out, and she quit taking them. And I didn't know this until a little bit later. But so now we're trying to get her back on track. But again, it's just important to know how to troubleshoot. I read that sometimes that can happen when your system is starting to detox. It starts lifting all the things up out of the system, and if they're not drinking plenty of water, it kind of stays in the system. It can cause little issues like that to seem a little worse at first. So I'm certain that's what happened. It's just getting people to realize that. So you just have to be very prepared to tackle any issues that they're having. I get on that support page a lot whenever there's a little issue. So you've got to believe in yourself. You've got life-changing products to share with everyone else about. You want to always be introducing Plexus to other people. Also, your team and everyone under you needs to see that you have no fear and are continually reaching out. So for those of us that do have many people on our team now, you know, and the ranks above us, a lot of them are mainly posting still so much because they're setting an example for their downline. So you've got to think of it that way too. If you're not posting every day, then they're not going to probably follow that lead at all. They're gonna do what you're doing and not do it enough. So it's very important to keep up with that. I did mention already that customers do make the best ambassadors. We always want to be trying to convert those into ambassadors, but of course we've got to keep up with our PV, because we lose some PV when that happens. Let's see. If they're loving the products, they're very likely to want to get a cheaper price and convert. So, and they'll be consistent with the products because they already love them. No matter what level you are, you need to continually reach out, including cold messaging. And you can't be afraid. It's not as scary as you think it is. Okay, I did hit these points right here without even looking at my notes. So, okay, I'm almost done. There's a lot of people out there, when I touched on about watching what people are posting about, you know, when they're posting about headaches or being so tired all the time. A lot of them don't even realize or believe that Plexus is the answer right away. So you just have to plant seeds with them by reaching out and mentioning what Plexus has done for you and for others. So again, just making a mental note of things like that, and reaching out any way that you can. And the last thing I was going to mention is you need to know about all the different ways to take the products, all the different options. This goes back to the troubleshooting. If someone, some people kind of hit a plateau sometimes, and you've got to help them kind of maybe switch up their routine or find out what they can be doing differently. So all of these things really do help in the grand scheme of things to help keep your PV up, keep those customers ordering every month, and keep building your team as they convert into ambassadors. Next up is Jen Weatherman. She's going to talk about how to add level 1s, and she's in Memphis, Tennessee. Is she here?
Okay, I unmuted and then she muted me accidentally. Sorry. I thought she was just going to unmute me and she didn't at first. So anyway. Okay, guys. So I'm going to talk about how to add level 1s and why it's important. And this is actually really important for the new ambassador to understand, as well as all the way up the line up to diamond. I mean, this is not something that you just do in the beginning. It's something that you continue to do. And number one, you need to really have a balance with your posting that we had talked about. So this is posting, sharing, whatever, but posting on Facebook is primarily the way we educate. So there needs to be a balance between that and a balance between your cold messaging. You're not going to just do post, 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 and never, ever reach out. And you're not never going to post and just cold message. It's a balance of the two. And so really you need to take a look at your own wall, your own Facebook wall, and see what does it look like. And then figure out, is this something that you need to tweak, you need to improve on? And then you also need to consider, are you interacting with others on your Facebook? Your network, your friends, your family, are you liking, are you commenting? And most importantly, are you listening to what they are saying? And when I say listening, they're not talking to you, but they are in the way that they post. It could be a graphic. They may not even say a word about how they feel. But if they post a graphic that, you know, it insinuates that they feel bad or that they're not getting sleep, and it's one of those ones that, you know, shows coffee, and, you know, there's all these funny coffee ones where they're addicted to the coffee, and, you know, they're funny, but at the same time, it's kind of like they're talking about themselves. So you need to pay attention to those posts, and you need to make a mental note and maybe even do like Penny does, put it in a spreadsheet that you need to reach out to that person. And that would be a person to cold message. And when you cold message people, it's not just like, you know, messaging them and telling them, hey, I think you need Plexus. It's got to be about the relationship that you've kind of built with them by liking, interacting with them, and then when you notice that they do have something that they're dealing with, whatever it may be, you message them privately and you say, you know, I've really noticed a lot that you have been commenting about such and such. And I just want you to know that there's hope for you. I have so many friends that have overcome this just with such and such in Plexus. And so that's the way that you would cold message them. You let them know that by sharing. And it does not have to be like a real salesy thing at all, but there needs to be the balance. Number two, you need to early on in your interacting with your people that you're communicating with about Plexus, you need to let them know that Plexus is different. And what I mean by this is not just the product side, but when we're adding level 1s, you need to let them know up front that Plexus is a safe and secure network marketing company, because many of them out there are not. They get you hooked and then they just dig into your pocketbook. And most people are familiar with those companies. And so when you take the pressure off up front in the beginning and you just say, hey, you know what? I you are really wanting a lot of products, and it would really be beneficial to you to sign up as an ambassador. And I can tell you right now, it's going to be the best decision because it's just $34.95. And then you let them know that, with that being said, there is nothing they have to invest, in a big bunch of products. They don't have to buy their own set to continue to be able to get the wholesale price. I don't even know what all other network marketing companies do, but there's gimmicks out there, and they need to know that Plexus is safe. It's not going to put them into a financial burden, because if that ever happens and life has something happen, they can go into their backup order and, adjust it, turn it off, or whatever they need to do. And when you do that up front, it kind of puts an ease of their mind that, they may be more willing to listen to even joining your team. If you don't let them know this up front, they're going to be blocking you out the entire time thinking, I'm not looking at joining her team because I know that's just another one of those companies. So taking that pressure off up front and talking about, it's the best thing I've ever done. If I don't want to order, I don't have to order. And all of those things that worry us about auto ships and all of those, little things that we are all skeptical about. It's not like that with Plexus. And so that's just a real important thing when you're talking about level ones. It makes it easier then to continue to recruit, because it's not a company that, is a gimmicky thing. Number 3, you need to assume when you're recruiting or when you're doing anything Plexus, that your Facebook network is also seeing a lot of other ambassadors post. They're not just seeing yours, and hopefully they are seeing yours. But if they're not, that's a whole nother call. A lot of these things could be their own calls. But you do need to understand that if you're posting, there's probably at least 1, 2, 3 other people within that person's network that's also posting Plexus, and you need to decide how you're going to set yourself apart. Because if we just continue to copy and paste and copy and paste and copy and paste all these posts, there's nothing that makes us different, us exciting, that draws them to our team. And so, the products are going to be there no matter whose team they join. But you've got to consider, you want to attract a certain type of person. You don't want to attract some grouchy person. So if you're on your Facebook and you're always grouchy, you're going to attract grouchy people. If you want to attract people that are rock stars, that are positive, uplifting, they've got a lot of friends, they have fun, they're exciting, they're passionate, then you've got to be that way. And so that's just one of those things that you need to examine of your own, Facebook, and maybe decide, my Facebook is all set on this, so maybe I need to tweak it and add a little bit more of this and bring a balance to the way that you post. We all know that, posting important things about the products and the testimonies and all that, but you can throw in things when you're recruiting like, this is such and such going on in my business right now, and it's so cool. Or, you're at Starbucks working on your computer and you're working your Plexus business. It can be just simple little fun things like that, they don't get to do that at their job, but it sure looks appealing when you can do it and you can put it in a picture and it's just easy, or just a fun little way to show that you love what you do. Same thing with your upline. You can tell about how your upline's awesome, which, woo, I have a good upline. And then also, I want you to know that team events are huge. And everyone wants to be a part of something, you guys. So if you go to a team event, take a picture, take some selfies, put them on your Facebook and like you're having fun, because that's going to set you apart from that other ambassador that may not have a team. They might just be sitting at home doing nothing. You don't know. Or, if you are a healthy eater, take pictures of your meals, tie it into your Plexus post, your block, put your block out there. There's ways to post and tailor it to you and personalize it. But we are representing health and wellness now, so we can't just get on there and tell about how awful we always feel. That's got to change if you want to build a successful business and draw people to you. So, just think about those kind of things. You definitely do want to continue to post things about your family life and, the life that you lead, but be smart about the way you incorporate the other stuff too. Bottom line, you want to show that you're out there, you're having fun, but also you're knowledgeable, you're a good leader, you're inspiring, you're serious, and you're in for the long haul. You're not just dabbling in this. oh, I post sometimes and I take off a month. And then I post a little bit here and I take off a month, because if you're unstable, they're not going to want to join you. You've got to be consistent in the way that you run your business. Number 4, let me take a drink real quick. I want to touch on this because it's important, like Natalie said, about, your customers make the best ambassadors because they already love the products, but it's up to you to sometimes recognize when do you need to approach that customer to upgrade them. So you need to be aware. I mean, you don't want to just leave this person hanging on as a forever preferred customer when they're getting, the Fab 4. That is a person who could upgrade to ambassador, save 5% more, and potentially be your rock star. You don't know. If they're your customer and they're loving the way they feel, they have a testimony, they're losing inches, whatever it may be, then that person, if they're getting Plexus Slim plus 2 other products and will have 100 PV, that is the person you want to talk to about upgrading to ambassador and why it would benefit them. You also need to consider if you have a very high PV, that's a red flag. So I would say you start pushing over 800 PV, continuously, that's a time when you need to focus in on your customers and say, my PV is consistently high. I need to keep it at least at 500 because I want to maximize that 25% commission, but I also want to grow my level 1s and my team. And that is how you could do that, by examining your customers if your PV is continually high and your customers are happy. Okay, so I touched on those things. I want to talk a little bit more, and I'm almost done, about why do we need level 1s. Level 1s are very, very important to continue to add. It kind of gets harder. I will say you have to expand your network, because eventually all of your friends are going to know you're the Plexus lady, and they're going to know, I'll eventually get to her. But you're going to need to meet new people and expand. And that means joining a new class, going to a new gym, whatever it may be, volunteering. There's so many different ways to get out there and meet new people, you guys. And it's kind of intimidating at first. Sometimes, you might not want to step out of the box and go to a new spin class, or like I've had to do recently. But I'm telling you, it is so fun, and you're so happy that you did it afterward, because it's a way for you to connect. And then most importantly, they always ask, what do you do? And I work from home, and it's just a way to get Plexus out there. Add them as a friend on Facebook, and done. You got a new contact. And then you also want to recruit those level 1s too, because that's really our long-term stability. We want to build our teams very wide. You never know in this business what happens in people's lives. People come, people go, and that's part of the business. That's what we've got to just accept. But it's up to us to continue to build those level 1s wide. And once you build wide, those little legs will start to grow, and that's how we eventually will rise in rank. So there's a saying, and it goes like this, and I really can't give credit to who said it, but it says, customers make us money, but ambassadors give us wealth. So if you are considering these people that are on the fence and you don't know, this person's a potential, she might order or she might join. She might order as a preferred or she might join. I can tell you right now, if that person is getting Slim plus 2 other products and they will have PV, or she or he will have PV, I should say, then you need to get them as she or he as an ambassador, because ambassadors all day long, every day, over customers. One thing too I wanted to add, let's see, what was I going to say? When you're setting your goals, and this is like your recruiting goals only I'm talking about, you need to think big. Don't think, I wonder if I'm going to get anybody this month. Really try, you guys. Try to go silver every month. And what that means is 3 active ambassadors. So whether, it's time to examine your PV, reach out to those customers, or cold message because someone in your Facebook is complaining about not having any money and they need a business opportunity, a safe one that's financially secure and that's growing like what we've got, then you need to try to reach out and go silver and think big. Have a go-getter attitude. And as you start to grow, I mean, especially from silver to gold, if you're already a silver, or even if you're just an ambassador, you get to gold by yourself. Do it. Don't say, I'm going to recruit 3 and then just wait for my 3 to recruit 3 and wait for those 3. Don't wait. Don't just sit around waiting for that power of 3 to kick in, because the power of 3 is a mentality, and you've got to find the right people with the right passion and vision that you've got. And some of them are just wholesalers. So you've got to continue to build wide, level ones, continue to just go, 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 and go after all 20 of those ambassadors on your own and get to gold. And then all those extras that those ambassadors recruit are just icing on the cake. And that's the way that will help you even push up to senior gold. But you don't give up once you hit a certain rank and you think, I'll just wait for those little, smaller legs to grow. Continue to get out there, you guys. It's possible, and you can do it on your own if you try. I mean, I'm just telling you, put the effort in, because it's worth it. Every little minute that you put into this business is worth it. So that's all I have to say. Go level 1. Woo! Oh, I'm sorry. I got to introduce this person. I got to turn it back to my other page. That's why. The next person that's up talking is my beautiful rock star, Maria Regal. Her name, or she's from South Bend, Washington. She's talking about personal growth. Yay.
Hi, everyone. I get to talk to you today about personal growth. And this is something that I've slowly gotten into since starting Plexus. Before I didn't know what personal growth was, and, I just never cared about it. But it's something that, becoming an ambassador and signing on as a wholesale ambassador, we signed up all for the lowest prices. So this business kind of fell into our lap, and here we are. We're all on this call today. I want to start off by saying you cannot change your life until you change something about it. There are so many tools and resources to help you grow and to help you lead your teams. If you have one ambassador in your team, you're a leader. If you have one customer, you are considered a leader. Don't think that you have to be a silver ambassador to be a leader. Don't think that, you're not a leader. You are, because you are influencing people, and people are watching you on Facebook. I mean, Jen and Natalie have already talked about posting on social media, and you're influencing people. And if you have one customer, one ambassador, that's the start. So we need to develop ourselves as leaders. We're not born leaders, so we have to develop ourselves. Personal growth is a lifelong process. It's a way for people to assess their skills and qualities, consider their aims in life, and set goals in order to realize and maximize their potential. And, personal growth can be in anything. To discover purpose, you must grow in self-awareness. To become a better human being, you must grow in character. To advance in your career, you must grow your skills. To better yourself as a spouse or a parent, you need to grow in your relationships. To reach financial goals, you need to know how money works. To enrich your soul, you need to grow spiritually. These are just little specifics of growth from person to person, and there are very different principles on how one can develop themselves as a better leader, as a better person. These are just some ideas. I used to think that I didn't have time to read, and by one, I'm not a reader. I can skim through things and highlight, and that's how I learn. You don't have to be a reader. You don't have to enjoy books if you don't want to. There's so many tools out there, like audiobooks. If you say you don't have the time, I didn't have the time either. I have 2 little girls under the age of 5. I am home, but I also have things to do around the house, cook meals, laundry, errands here and there. I mean, life gets busy. And if you're working a full-time job, I get it, that you definitely don't have time. But if you can cut out some of your favorite hobbies and sacrifice, if it's TV, if it's your own downtime, sacrifice if at least if it's 15 minutes, 30 minutes. If you have 2 hours, do something with those 2 hours. None of us went to school to become a network marketer. I didn't, and I don't think you can get a degree in it. But there's so many books out there. to help you enrich yourself with all these skills and to empower yourself. If you don't have the time, consider this. Do you have 15 minutes a day? Maybe, during your lunch, one of your breaks, before your kids wake up in the morning, when your kids are already in bed. Attend seminars. That's another one. Convention is a seminar for us, the one that happens every June. Okay, back to the 15 minutes a day. How about just 10 pages? Instead of, I get it that there's some chapters that are really long. And if you say, okay, I got to read a chapter one night, every night. And there's some chapters that are more than 20 pages. Well, I'm not going to finish those 20 pages. But if I devote a little timer, 15 minutes a day, and read this book, I'll do it. Or 10 pages, I'll do it. Another way to grow is to find a mentor. This is a person that you view as a leader, and you don't have to speak with them on a regular basis. It can be checking in with them once a week, once a month, maybe even a side sister. Get on recorded calls. There's so many recorded calls on YouTube. I know Penny mentioned a couple of our leaders already have them, and they're doing many topics. One of the things that I just discovered is my local library has audiobooks. So here I was looking into purchasing some through iTunes and Amazon, and it can add up, because there's so many books out there that I want to read, and yet I buy them, and sometimes I may not even open them. I'll just kind of skim through them and then put them to the side. I'm guilty of that. Get yourself a membership to your local library and get audiobooks. And if you're going for a walk, hey, you're doing two things at once that are good for you. You're walking, and you're also growing yourself personally. There is CDs. Also, attend events. I know Jen already mentioned it. People, stick around with people. There's a saying that says, show me who your friends are, and I'll show you what your future looks like. My mom always told me that too. Think about a book club. I know, consistency, and we all need, accountability. So if you're not a reader, how about find a partner that says, a sideline sister, or maybe even your team. Hey, I want to read this book, or what book should we read together? And then once a week, gather and go over the chapters you read. And then you're also teaching them to duplicate, so you can duplicate that with their team. Never underestimate the power of personal growth. It'll help you find passion and motivation. Think about, you get excited about one thing, and then something comes up and it distracts you, and then you kind of lost it. It's happened to me. I'm guilty of that. Inspiration and motivation, you have to feed yourself, and you have to nurture that every single day. Just like it is with diet and exercise and being healthy. I fell off the bandwagon. You can fall off the bandwagon here. You have to keep feeding yourself. You have to keep empowering yourself and feeding into yourself as a leader. You also will find knowledge that you need, and you can build a rock solid faith of your company and your products. Network marketing has a lot of misconceptions. So if someone's, you're sharing with them and they say, oh, it's just another company, it's just another product. You need to have that belief, like Penny's talked about. And personal developing or personal growth in other areas will help you build a stronger self. People will look at it and have expectations. Okay, I'm a network marketer now, or I just joined Plexus and I'm going to be, Emerald in 1 year or so not. And then they don't do anything. They're not posting on social media like Jen says, or then they just give up and it's not working for them. And then they turn around and give up an amazing opportunity that they had. So think about setting realistic goals, and there's books out there that show you and can teach you how to do all these will give you the skills to set realistic goals and to give you the belief on the products, the companies. There's a lot of things out there with network marketing skills. When we get our first rejection, we just it's a setback, maybe 5 steps back. But I know there's a lot of books out there. One of them is How to Rock Your Network, Rock Your Network Marketing Business. And that is such a good book. It's an easy, short read. I actually did finish that one. And it gives you the power and the belief that you need to have in your business. Some examples, let me start over again. I started a journal after doing my notes and thought and all these topics. You can start a personal growth journal. And these are some of the examples that as a leader, we need to grow in. And I wrote these down, and I'm going to check them off as I learn myself in all of these. So one of them is mindset. we need to have the right mindset to be in this company, to be with this business, and to lead our team and our customers and our ambassadors, and to have that vision. Character. What character do we portray? It's like Jen said, you know, who do we show ourselves in Facebook? Like, who are we? So we need to have that character. Relationships, building and nurturing them. Time management. I'm guilty of that. Sometimes I get on Facebook and I stop scrolling and I get sidetracked. So time management is one skill that I also need to learn on. And I've learned about it, but I just kind of tend to forget about it. So it's another one that I have to educate myself back on again. Recruiting, how to recruit ambassadors and customers. Leading, how to be a better leader, how to lead your team. Think about the characteristics. And also there's another book on different personalities of network marketing. So get to know your team and what do they need and how do they need to be leaded, because you might be one personality, but you may have people on your team that totally don't relate to you or you don't relate to them because they're different personalities. So get to know all the different personalities that are in your team and lead them based on that. Problem solving. You know, as your team grows, there's going to be problems. There might be little things here and there that might need to be addressed. And it takes a leader to step out of the comfort zone and help break those or put those pieces back together. Recognizing strengths and weaknesses is also another great topic. How to deal with objections. We watch a lot of videos about that, but there's also a lot of material out there to cover. Social media, product info, compensation plan, how to, fear and faith, and setting goals. Those are other excellent topics. So I made myself a little journal, and I'm going to check off all these topics as I'm learning about them. The best way to learn, and believe me, is by teaching others. So I may read a book, but it goes in one ear and out the other. I don't retain information very long. But if I rewrite it or if I share it with someone else, it sticks together longer. So how about teaching your team? Maybe, go over a topic, a little mini Zoom or something, and it kind of sticks together because then they start relating to, oh yeah, that happened to me. And then you have a topic and a conversation with your team. If you're having a slow time, I know we just had a rough summer, slow summer, I should say. But if you feel like you're just not, you have a slow time right now, use that time to build yourself. Go to the library, get some books, and use that time to build yourself. If you are not reaching out to people, or you exhausted your contacts, your warm market, build yourself. Let's see here. Some of the books that I recommend would be, like I said, Rock Your Network Marketing Business. If you have a new ambassador that just wants to go with it, that's a really good gift to gift them. The 4-Year Career in Flip Flop CEO. This is great for people that are not familiar with network marketing businesses and companies. So it shows a lot of facts. So it's something to build your base on what it is that you're doing and to know that that side of the business. John Maxwell has amazing books on leadership. I mean, his topics go on and on. One of the ones that I just got was 21 Laws of Leadership. And then I just downloaded on my library for free the 15 Laws of Growth. And that's where I got some of my notes from. And then Developing the Leader with You and Eric Pro. I remember, GoPro. Penny talked about that one. Also, I mean, just finding the time and grow yourself, find yourself, what your weaknesses are, what your strengths are, and build those weaknesses. So those are some of the tips that I have. And now I'm going to pass it over to Brenda House. She's one of my rock stars, and she's also here in Elma, Washington. So take it away, Brenda.
Thank you, Maria. Hi, everybody. My topic is excuses. I can really relate to this topic. I make can't talk. I make excuses. I know I hear them all the time. I think the most common one that I hear is I don't have the time, or I can't sell anything. You join this team and this is your company. You paid $34.95. This is your company. So really it all depends on you and what you do with it. It's on your shoulders. Nobody else is going to do it for you. There are two kinds of people that are successful and don't make excuses, and they take it to the top. They ride the roller coaster, they keep on going, and they take it to the top. Or there's the kind of person that is going to make excuses and set themselves up for failure, and eventually they're going to quit. I don't know about you. I prefer to be the one that's going to take it to the top. Go Diamonds. I think a lot of times people make excuses because they're afraid. They're afraid that they're going to fail. So, so why not start with making excuses? Because you're going to fail anyway, and you're just setting yourself up for failure. Maybe some people might say that they don't have the time. Their excuse is their life is too busy. They have too much on their plate. They don't have the time. They have children that they have to take care of, house cleaning. Their husband wouldn't want them to do that, or they're just too busy. They don't have the time. But honestly, everybody on this phone call has a busy life. Everybody does. Everybody has, well, not everybody, but a lot of us have children. A lot of us have other part-time or full-time jobs. I know I work as a sign language interpreter on the side, and I have my own other business that's another business. I have to do my own invoicing. I have to do a lot of that other work that keeps me extremely busy. And that's really become part of my why I'm doing this, because I'm tired of doing that, but I'll never give it up completely. But anyway, just making the time and finding the time to do it. Just one moment. I'm looking at my cheat sheets. So, like I said, a lot of times people say, I don't have the time. So like I said, we all have busy lives. Nobody has extra time. It's really how you prioritize your time, what you do with your time. Make a list of the reasons why you think that you don't have time, and you'll probably notice that there are some time wasters in that list. Things that you're doing, like scrolling on Facebook, or maybe you're watching too much TV. I know I used to zone out on the TV quite a bit, and now I have to turn it off, or I have to remove myself away from the room and work on my my networking. And so one thing that I do is called power working. I call it power working, where I will, throughout my day, I will look at my schedule and I'll be like, yeah, I'm jumping from this job to this job, and usually each job's in a different town. So like I drive anywhere from 2 to 3 hours a day, so each way. So usually what I've done, like Maria was talking about, audiobooks. I now listen to audiobooks in the car. I've figured out a way to make time to be able to listen to those books. And I, of course, have ordered the hardcover books, whatever, but often, like Maria said, they don't get opened. So I've learned that the audiobooks is the best way to utilize my time. Another thing that I started to refer to was I call it power working. If I'm in between jobs, and I've got an extra 15 minutes, sometimes I'll even try to get to the next job early. It used to be, when I wasn't healthy, I would find that extra time to go through the fast food drive-through, or go to Starbucks, or because I had to have my Starbucks. Now I'm finding that extra time that I used to utilize for that, now I'm packing my lunches and I keep them in my car, because it used to be the excuse was I didn't have time to pack a lunch. Well, now I made that so that that's not an excuse anymore. I'm making my lunches. I'm not going through the fast food drive-throughs. And that extra time that I would have done that is now my power working time, where I will actually be parked in my car and I will use that 15, 20 minutes to hit it hard with loading my buffer on Facebook or cold messaging. One of my favorite ways to do cold messaging, feel like I'm going all over the place, but one of my things with cold messaging that I like to do is when I'm home, set the timer for a good 15, 20 minutes and sit somewhere quietly. And for 15, 20 minutes, let's see how many people I can cold message. And then when the timer goes off, I have to stop. Sometimes that's hard for me because I want to keep going. Because wait, there's still 10 more people on that list that I want to do. But that I find works the best for me, that I actually will follow through and try to reach out to people. Another thing that I think is really important with your time and not making excuses, your customers and your ambassadors depend on you. They want to know that if they try to reach out to you, that you're going to get back to them. You can't give them excuses on why you can't get back to them. I think it's crucial that if somebody shows an interest in maybe a potential that you've been following up on, and then all of a sudden they finally reach out to you, but wait a minute, I'm doing this and I can't get back to them. I have found it very crucial early on to let my husband know, get my husband on board. Again, I also think it's important you get your significant other or your spouse on board to talk, to have your back, to be supportive, so that when there is a phone call that comes through, you can drop everything because you need to get to that person. And if they're your customer, you need to treat them like golds, because those customers usually become your ambassadors. One thing that I thought was really cool was last year at convention, I met a couple. I won't mention names. They were so cute though. It's at the Little Big Town night. And her husband told me, because I said, well, how, like I was kind of joking with them, like, so how are you doing with her doing all this and all the time she does, and, you know, takes away from the family. She goes, he goes, oh no. He goes, I make sure that my babies know that daddy puts you to bed because mommy needs to work, because he knows how important that this business is and wants her to go all the way to the top. And I thought it gave me goosies. I thought that was pretty cool. So really it's that simple. It's about how much do you really want it? If you don't want it that bad, you're going to make excuses. You're going to fail. I mean, bottom line. But if you want it, it's okay to have a few setbacks, a few failures, but get back on that horse and ride it, and don't stop until the very end and quit making excuses. Okay, I think that's enough for me. Back over to Maria Rangel in South Bend, Washington. And I forgot your topic. My phone died, so I can't tell you what the topic is. Thank you.
I just want to encourage your journey. We are here with passion, with joy, and we want to help others succeed. I just have 3 tips. I'll wrap it up really short. Don't compare yourself to others. You know, it's common, but don't. Promise yourself and challenge yourself to not compare yourself to others. You know, others, you know, have ranked faster than us. Others are enrolling more in level 1s than we are. You know, others have higher PV, and we're like, how the heck did they do it? You know, but do not compare yourself to others. Everybody has a different journey. Everybody has different struggles. You know, some of us stay home. Some of us have 2 to 3 times job, or 2 to 3 jobs. They're juggling other things, but do not compare yourself to others. You've heard that many, many, many times, but don't. I've been guilty. I have compared myself to others, and I think it just gave me like 5 steps back. And it takes a little while to get over that and to continue to move forward. So my advice is just do not compare yourself to others. Promise yourself that. Challenge yourself that. This is your business. It's your responsibility. We all have the same tools. They're all in our back office. We have the same tools that Celeste has. We have the same tools that Aaron Parker has. Zimmerman, sorry. And we have to own it. We have to be responsible for our business. Put your blinders on and let nothing discourage you or just steer you away from your goals. You know, we all have chores, like, you know, Brenda was saying, we all have excuses, but find the time. This is so important. This is your business, your customers and your ambassadors. That's your business. Your family is too, but, you know, prioritize and just set yourself some time apart. If you have a calendar, write yourself like what hours of the day you're going to be working. If it's after bedtime, or, you know, 15 minutes, if you're starting out, 15 minutes, that's it. What's 15 minutes? Nothing. What's 1 hour of your day? If you can devote that to your Plexus business, 1 hour is nothing. But just find that. Train yourself, during that one time or those 15 minutes. Train yourself if it's reading, setting your buffer. Work out smarter, not harder. Be focused. I like what Brenda says. Put a timer on your phone or something, and when it's time to stop, you stop and then go back to business. Plan your week ahead of time, whether it's Sunday, how we all plan our meals, for families and whatnot. Plan your work ahead, who you're gonna reach out to. If you have a calendar, write down all the people that you're gonna cold message, your people that you're gonna follow up with, everything. Just write it out and plan it out. One last thing is be proud of where you are. We all, if you are a silver ambassador, be proud of that. That's the first achievement. You're probably making a good money as a silver ambassador. Be proud of that. If you haven't ranked, that's okay. Be proud of it, because most likely you probably received a paycheck already from Plexus, and that in itself is amazing. If you're supplying an income for your family, that's amazing. If you are covering your products, hey, that's amazing. Remember, we had to pay for them at once, and it cost, for us, it was, a little, like an arm and a leg to pay for 2 combos, but now it's being paid for. That's a blessing. Just think about and thank God and put all your blessings together and just be thankful that we have this amazing opportunity with Plexus, and you can take it wherever you want. You just have to work it the way you want it to be worked. I'm just going to turn it over to Elizabeth, and she's going to wrap it up. She's over in Bixby, Oklahoma, and she's our senior Ruby ambassador and mother of all of us. So let's turn it over to her, and thank you for tuning in, you guys.
Oh my goodness. You guys, I have like 7 pages of notes. That was amazing. In fact, a lot of the things I was going to share, you guys took. So, I'm going to have to go back through here and rewrite it because I was writing so fast. I hope I can read my own notes. But I hope everyone's already gotten a lot out of this. I'm going to be going over duplication. And most of you know what duplication is, but if you're brand new, duplication is what you want to teach your team. You're modeling what to do in this business to be successful, and it needs to be simple. We don't need to make it complicated. It needs to be duplicatable, which means it needs to be simple. Duplication is the key to success, okay? And if we create simple actions to share with our team, we are teaching them to be successful, because action breeds success. Action gets results. When we all signed up, we have our why, and our why is what drives us. If you haven't sat down and written down your why, you need to do that, because when times get tough, you need to know why you're doing this. And it can change over time. It might be in the beginning to get healthy. After a while, when you start earning a paycheck, it might be, hey, I'm really adding income to my family. I want to make the car payment, or I want to focus on getting to where I can stay home with my kids. Keep that in the forefront of your mind at all times, because you're going to need to draw on that when times get tough. Network marketing is not, it can be hard at times, but it's really very simple. Sometimes we try to make it too complicated. We need to focus on simple actions that all the leaders before us, all the diamonds, all the sapphires, all the emeralds, they got there by following simple steps. And we don't need to recreate how to do it. We need to follow that roadmap that they've laid out to us. And you can get that through these kind of trainings. You can get it through YouTube videos. You can get it from attending events, convention. There's always tons of opportunities for you to be trained without you having to figure it out. So if you will be open and receptive to attending events and tuning into calls, they're going to give you, we're all going to feed you what you need to know to be successful. So here we go. As leaders, we need to give our team action steps. They say that the best leaders create more leaders. They don't create followers. We don't need to constantly be giving them the answer. We need to show them, we need to model, and we need to show them where they can also find the answers, so that they can turn around and teach their team. If not, you're going to turn into a manager of your team, and that's going to keep you as a leader from doing your income producing activity, which, like Jen said, doesn't matter what rank you are, you need to be adding level ones. You need to be focusing on adding people to your team. You don't just want to sit back and watch your team do it while you play manager. That's why you want to create strong leaders on your team so that they can teach their downline. And then it just kind of just goes down the line, and that's what duplication is. Every once in a while, people will reach out to me, and I know Jen and Maria, we've had this conversation, people reaching out to us. I'm sure Celeste gets it about 1,000 times a day. What are you doing? How are you to the rank you are? How do you have such a great PV? What am I missing? What's your secret? What's the magic thing that I don't know? And honestly, guys, there is no secret. There is no magic. I'm going to go over 5 key things that if you implement these into your business, you're going to have that so-called magic. You're going to be one that starts promoting, that starts getting a higher PV. So what I want you to do is I want you to take your paper and I want you to write the word magic, M-A-G-I-C, down a line like an acrostic. And I'm going to go over each letter and give you one key strategy that will spell out the word magic and will be that so-called magic that you're looking for. Okay, the first one is M, make a list. And many of you have already made your list. This list should be people that come to your mind when you're thinking about the products. Like they were saying earlier, the people that are complaining on Facebook, the people that you talk to at work, whenever they're complaining about, not feeling good, being tired, needing money, write their names down for ones that you think need the products and other ones that you think would benefit from the business. I want you to write at least 100 names. If your list is old, like if you've been doing this for a couple years, I want you to start a new list. Because in those 2 years, you've met a lot more people. You need to go through your Facebook friends list. And I just did this last week, and I came up with 40 new names. And update your list and start thinking about who you can reach out to or who you can start building that relationship with through Facebook by commenting on their things. Private messaging them, just checking in, seeing how they're doing. Tell them how much you love seeing them on Facebook and you want to catch up. Just start that relationship with them. And be constantly on the lookout for who you can connect with on Facebook, in person. Be constantly using that list and reaching out. But I don't want you just to make that one list. I want you to make another list of all the people that are currently on your team. Now, if you're brand new, you might not have to make that list. But I want you to make a list of your current ambassadors. Then I want you to make another list of your current customers. Then I want you to make another list. Customers who have quit ordering, so your past customers, and you can find that information in your back office under customer reports. And then I want you to make a list of your inactive ambassadors. We call them white lines because when they're inactive, they show up white in your report. Make those 5 lists because you're going to need them for this next step. A is for approach everyone. This fall, you're going to use those lists and you're going to make a daily plan of who you're going to reach out to from those lists. And this fall, you're going to contact all of them. You have to tell everyone you know, everyone on that hundreds list, you need to tell them because if you don't, somebody else will. And I'm finding that out a lot lately. Those people that I put off and put off and put off and I'm just now reaching out to, guess what? About 10 of them have already been approached by another Plexus ambassador. Some of them are wholesale shoppers. Some of them are customers. But some of these already beat me to the punch. And some of these were the people that I was too scared to reach out to. And now it's not even, it's not even a possibility because they're with a really strong other local ambassador, not somebody that's going to flake out. So you need to get out there and be the first one. Like Jen said, you need to separate yourself from the rest by having a really great Facebook wall that shows your passion, shows that you are in it for the long haul, not somebody who's just dabbling and, just every once in a while saying, join me. You're really in it for the long haul, and that's what you want people to resonate when they see your page. You want them to see that. So you're going to reach out to every single person on that list, and you're going to reach out to all of your current customers. Like Natalie said, it's important to stay in touch with them, to keep them on the products, to help them troubleshoot. If not, they will quit. People need encouragement. They need cheerleaders. Making health changes is hard. None of us stick to it very long by ourselves. We need people surrounding us, encouraging us, and there for us. When they become your customer, we promise that we're going to help them. We're different than Walmart, because at Walmart, the checkout girl is not going to help them. But we promise them that if you let me help you, I am there for you. So we've got to be true to our word and reach out to them. Your past customers, you need to keep that relationship going. Don't just quit talking to them and quit commenting on their posts because they turned their order off. I'm going to tell you something that just happened when Maria was talking. I got a beep on my iPad. I look over. It's a girl from high school that ordered from me a year ago, did it for 2 months and quit. I tried to troubleshoot with her, but she was going through a rough time and all this. She just messaged me. I'm ready to try again, Elizabeth. She's like, I've been following you this whole time. The message is, I've been following you this whole time. I'm at a good place. I'm ready to start again. It just happened when Maria was talking. But guess what? I've kept that line of communication with her. I didn't just write her off like, oh, next. I'm not going to talk to her anymore. I mean, guys, we're in the relationship business. People need to know that we care. That's what's going to draw them to you. Not if you're the kind that sounded like you just want a sale, you are not going to attract people to want to be your customer or join your team. So it's really important to reach out, keep those connections with those past customers, with the people on your team. I know Jen's had a couple people come back that were ambassadors and quit. Now they've come back. I have one that quit. Now she's a customer again. Now she's thinking about joining again. So people, there's all kinds of reasons people stop, but you need to keep that relationship going, because a lot of them will change their mind. They will want to give it another shot, and you want them to come to you. And they're going to do that if they sincerely think you care and if they sincerely see your passion. Okay, so that's really, really important. So those lists are going to be very useful, but if you don't have those lists, you're going to be reaching out randomly, and you're really not going to know what progress you made and who you've actually reached out to. Get that list in front of you, make daily action plans. The 5-3-1, hold on, am I getting ahead of myself? I am. I'll get to that in a minute. Okay, MAG. G is get on three-way calls. This is scary, guys. I understand. But getting on three-way calls that means your upline, and either a potential customer, a potential ambassador, a new customer, or a new ambassador. What that's going to do for you is that's going to, especially if you're new and you're unsure what to do, it's going to give you an example, because you're going to be on a phone call. Your upline's going to share their story. She's going to share a little bit about the products, the business. She's going to ask them questions, and it's going to model for you how to help those new customers or new ambassadors, or how to possibly get those fence sitters off to either become a customer or ambassador. But what it's going to do for that person that you've invited to be on that call, it's going to give them third-party validation. A lot of times our family and friends, they don't really trust us. I mean, they do, but then they know us. But if you have somebody else step in and they have their testimony, they have their, things that they're going to share about Plexus, and it's backing up what you've been telling them, that just increased their belief. Okay? So try to get them on either a three-way call, or if your customer or whatever potential doesn't really act very interested in that, start a thread. And all you're going to do is do a messaging thread saying, hey, hey, Jenna, I've started a thread with me, you, and my upline. This is a great place for you to ask questions. And, my upline and I will help you. You can ask questions. We might share information, but it's a private thing. And sometimes people will be more open to that. But it's very, very important to do those. So talk to your upline and try to connect with your potentials or your new ambassadors and customers and start hooking up with your upline to get those taken care of. I promise you, it will benefit you. It will train you what to do, and it will help build their belief as well. Let's see here. Okay, MAGI. I is for initiate systems of duplication. Okay, guys, can't build a team by yourself. Like Jen said, you can go gold by yourself, reaching out and getting 20 people, but it's pretty hard to get past gold by yourself. You need to teach the people that want the business. Of course, a lot of them just want wholesale, but the ones who want the business, you need to start training them, teaching them the duplicatable steps to building their own team, because you cannot get to a jewel status by yourself. You need people. You need people to come with you. You might have to reach out, to 20 or 30 people before you find your first runner. Some people luck out and find one in the first 5. But guys, it's just in God's timing. I truly believe that. He's going to bring the people to you that need you at that time. And your runners might not be ready for 6 months or a year. I turned down people for an entire year before I decided I was ready. If I would have joined a year previous, I probably would have quit because I didn't think I needed the products. And so then I wouldn't have wanted to do the business. So I think sometimes we end up losing ambassadors because they jumped in too quickly and weren't ready. So guys, just be encouraged. They might come back later. They might not. But I believe you will get your runners at the time that it's going to, for the most part, the runners when they're ready to take off with this. So just keep sharing and reaching out. And what you want to do is, as the leader, whether you have one customer, one ambassador, or a whole team, you need to set the example for your team by plugging in to calls like this, to events. Model to your team what it takes. What do leaders look like? What do leaders do? Leaders are constantly learning. Leaders never stop learning. Guys, it's important. Celeste Gwynn, top in the company, still has things to learn. She admits she doesn't even know that much about the ingredients and the products. But guess what? She's double diamond. She's constantly learning. So don't be afraid to start thinking you don't know enough. You've got a team. You've got resources. That's what we're here for. So you can do this. You've got to model for your team what to do. You've got to stay connected and plugged in so that they will stay connected and get plugged in. This is what I was trying to get to a minute ago and I wanted to wait. You need to come up with a system that works for you and duplicate it with your team. A lot of people use the 5-3-1. That means each day you write down 5 names that you're going to contact. And it might not always be immediately about Plexus. It might be reconnecting. It might be, hey, I'm going to start up a conversation with this girl I haven't seen in years. I'm going to just check in with her, see how her family's doing. You just tell her, hey, I'm glad I found you on Facebook. Start that relationship. That can be your 5. And then 3 is following up. People that you've reached out to, people that have asked you about Plexus. You're going to reach out. You're going to add something of value. You're not just going to check back and say, hey, you ready? Hey, you ready now? You might share a special. You might share a testimony that reminded you of them. You might share some product info of something they were, interested in 6 months ago. And you might have found something new that they might be interested in about that product. You're going to share that. And then the 1 on the 5-3-1, the 1 is either train one person on your team, have a conversation, message them, or train yourself. If you don't have a team yet, or if you just have a couple, you're going to run out of people to train in 3 days. Use that day to train yourself and then start the cycle again. Okay? Watch a training video. Guys, these steps are proven to work. This is what the jewels do. They reach out, they follow up, they train. They reach out, they follow up, they train. Very simple. Okay? We might not always be in the mood, We might think it's hard because these people we're reaching out to, we don't know what they're going to think. Guess what? After you emailed or after you messaged 5 or 10 Dream Teamers, you quit being scared. I promise. Now I'm messaging everybody because you know what? I believe in Plexus. I believe we have the best compensation plan. I believe we have the best products. And why do I need to be afraid? I feel selfish if I don't tell them about it. Because if I think they're going to rock it, why would I not want to tell them? That would be keeping the opportunity of a lifetime from them. So guys, it's all in how you think. It's how you think about yourself. It's how you think about this company. It's how you think about these products. It's how you think about network marketing. Back to what Penny was saying with belief. Get your belief strong. Attend events, tune in, plug in, connect with other people on our team. I promise your belief's going to skyrocket. C, MAGIC. And I bet you a lot of you can probably guess what C is. Consistency. It's what we talk about all the time. Duplication and consistency. You can do this business part-time, but you can't do it sometimes. That means you can work it in a few minutes a day, but you need to be working it every day. Like they were saying earlier, they're not going to see every post. People aren't on Facebook as much as we are for the most part. You don't know when they're on. You don't know if they're going to catch your post. So you need to try to post 2 to 3 Plexus posts a day. And I truly believe at least one of them needs to be personal. And you might think, well, I'm only on the triplex. How much can I say about that? It can be a picture of you with your pink drink. It can be a picture of you at a soccer game holding your pink drink. It can be you at the gym and you don't even have your pink drink, but you might hashtag pink drink and move, or drink pink and move. Giving them the idea that you're living a healthier lifestyle thanks to Plexus. It can be, oh my gosh, I've had to go get my hair cut 3 weeks early because it's growing like crazy. X factor. It can be, I'm eating so much healthier. My sugar cravings are gone. It can be any little thing. It doesn't have to be this huge, massive testimony. People are looking for those little things. People struggle with those little things. And that makes it believable when they see someone they know having success. So little things are not too little. Share the little details. Back to what I think several of them were talking about. We all are busy. We hear all the time, I'm too busy, or I haven't been doing it because I'm so busy. Guys, posting takes a couple of minutes. If there's a day for some reason you can't reach out to your 5, 3, and 1, post. Your Facebook audience sees that. That right there builds their belief. It shows your consistency. It shows your passion, and it takes maybe seconds, not very long. You can find 5, 10, 15 minutes, especially if you're on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, you got time to post. So we all get busy, but would you tell your boss at work, I'm sorry I didn't get my work done today, I was too busy? No, you're your own boss. You answer to yourself. So you've got to treat yourself like the boss. Would you tell your boss, I'm too busy? If you really want it, find the time. If you can do an hour a day, that's great. If you can do more, that's even better. But don't think of it as, oh, I don't have an hour. Think of it as, I have 15 minutes before I go to work. I can do 15 minutes at lunch. I can do 15 minutes when I get home while dinner's cooking. I can do 15 minutes before I go to bed. You just worked your business for an hour. It doesn't matter if it's an hour together or separate. The important thing is you are in activity. And remember, action leads to success. You're duplicating for your team what you want them to do. If you're telling them 5-3-1 is the way to go, guess who needs to be doing 5-3-1? If I'm saying it, it needs to be me. If you're saying it, it needs to be you. So model what you want your team to do. Now, is everybody going to do it? No. But the ones who want it, the ones who have the vision, the ones who have a really strong why, the ones who are your runners, they want to see that. They want to know what to do. And it's not magic. It's making a list. It's approaching. It's getting on three-way calls. It's initiating a plan. It's consistency. And you guys got this. This is a fun business. It shouldn't feel like work. You should almost look forward to doing your business, because a lot of times
it's like rubber.
Oh, Mom, do you want to get a Savannah cat? They are only $12,000.
I'm not sure. Here, I'm going to mute everybody. Hold on.
Whatever, leave her alone.
Okay. I'm about ready to wrap things up. Okay. Oh, if you have a team page, you need to make a goal to post on your team page every day. It doesn't have to be big and elaborate. It can even just be like an inspirational quote to just, encourage them to, lift their spirits, to, maybe even something funny. Just getting them used to looking at your team page daily. Okay. If you only post once a week or once every 2 weeks, they're going to get out of the habit of checking your team page. But if you post daily, they're going to probably check it. The ones who want the business, the ones who are in it for the long haul, will check your page. So you need to have something on there daily. People are watching and waiting for you to stop. They are. That's the nature of humans. We a lot of times don't like to see our friends be successful. We a lot of times don't like to see people doing things that we're too afraid of. Don't let them get to you. You show them that they're missing out. You're going on. If they don't want to jump on, you know what? You kind of feel sorry for them, but it's their choice. Don't let them turn that around on you and make you think, oh gosh, maybe I shouldn't be doing it. Oh, they don't like it. Maybe they're right. Are they in charge of your life and your dreams? No. So you show them that they're missing out and that you're going on without them. And a lot of times later on, they're going to be like, you know what? Maybe I am interested, because she's really sticking it out. So just, if people don't jump on board right away, it's okay. Again, I waited a year. I told people no about 5 or 10 times each. So don't let it deter you from your why. It's very important. Okay, I'm going to go over this again. It's proven. Reaching out, following up, training, and having huge belief is going to take you to the top on your own timing that God has planned for you. God's bringing the right people into your life at the right time, so our journeys are all going to look different. But if we follow the steps that have been laid out before us, we're all going to make it to the top. And I know every single person on this call right now is doing that. And so I know we're all going to be in Hawaii eventually together. We're all going to be parking our Lexuses at meetings together. I might be having to drive to Washington or Minnesota, but we will do it. We're all going to be there. So that wraps it up. I hope you guys have taken away a lot of great information, a lot of things that you can implement immediately. And if you have any questions or something didn't quite make sense, reach out to your upline and get some clarification, because we gave a lot of information. So I just want to thank you all for coming, and I'm getting ready to draw the winner right now. This is the winner of the $25 Amazon gift card or the $25 Lush gift card for having your 100 PV by tonight. So I've got everybody's names plugged in. Let me pull it up here. Okay, I'm picking a random name. Oh! Christy McDade. Christy McDade is our winner, and she is not on the call tonight, so I will get to message her. So congratulations, Christy, and thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is recorded. I am going to be uploading it to YouTube and then putting it on our team page. So thank you guys so much for taking an hour and 40 minutes out of your night to tune in, and I love you guys, and I appreciate everything you do. This team would not be the same without each and every one of you. So good night, everybody, and we'll chat again soon. And thank you to everybody that helped me lead.